Well, welcome back to Shimpling Park Farm. There have been lots of visitors this month. Real live school visits are back, swapping screens and Zoom lessons for soil, seeds and puddles and skylark listening.
The children have got a scavenger hunt to do just before they go back to school. They've a bit of a competition, haven't you, Alice?
No, do not do hard tickle or else the seed
like
could
not
fall.
hard tickle, but not like just like that.
No, you have to be soft tickle.
Today we're having a planning meeting for the National GAN event, which is going to take place on the farm in July. Last year it had to be postponed altogether, and this year it's going to be a hybrid of live and virtual. This is a knowledge exchange and an exploration of all things organic. Charlotte, thanks very much for coming, and you've taken a break from the BBC and Farming Today to come and plan the conference here.
That's right, yes, we're calling it planning. I mean, we've done a little bit of recording and a lot of eating lunch and playing with Daisy, your dog.
And what do you think about the farm? How's it looking?
I think it looks beautiful. I think organic farms always look different, and you can tell even when we go with film crews or if I'm going for radio, you can tell pretty quickly because you do see weeds. So organic farmers are always very quick to point out their weeds so that they know that they are there and they're part of the plan.
There's a real sense that everything's about to change in British farming.
For years and years and years, for generation really, farmers have been used to a particular way of doing things with a particular type of support, which is based on how much land they have.
Yeah.
And over the next 7 years here in England, that is going to be phased out. It will be half by 2024. And they're going to have to do different things. It's that really what farmers are trying to do at the moment is, whatever type of business they've got, get it as good as it can possibly be. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to survive and thrive.
Well, Stuart, I think we're very honoured to have the Deputy President of the NFU here today, which is really exciting. And more exciting, you're an organic farmer. Does that make you different?
Others may say I'm different. I think that's probably true. But no, for me, look, I represent farmers. I farm by a set of rules, by a set of standards that I'm very proud of. I love farming the way I do. But equally, my role in the NFU is to fight for farmers under whatever system they farm under. Because at the end of the day, every farmer in this country I ever come across, however they farm, is wanting to do the right thing for consumers, for the environment. We do know things are going to change. Yeah. So farming in 10 years from now will look different to how it does today. Yeah. When it comes to public finances, we'll be up against the NHS, schools, hospitals, elsewhere. And we're going to have to make the case for farming. But what I also know is we had 1 million people last year sign a petition to back British farming standards. We know we farm to some of the highest standards in the world, some of the most sustainable standards in the world. We know British farming, unlike farming elsewhere, is contributing to net zero. We want to get there by 2040. This is our office, being outside, producing great food, looking after landscapes in parts of the country like this. So why wouldn't you want to be a farmer?
Any thoughts on Jeremy Clarkson's exploration of farming?
Look, there is a caricature that is Jeremy Clarkson that he has to play to. I take my hat off to anyone who's prepared to communicate farming's message and the food message to the British public.
And then the organic inspectors came.
So we're here to inspect the farm for the organic certification. It's based on an inspection of the farm and filling in lots of paperwork. So we have to look for any inputs that shouldn't be used, and the same with feed if we're doing a livestock farm, to make sure that the feed is all organic, making sure that the crop storage is compliant and up to standard, and also that there's no mixing of crops.
Yep, just finished. 1 day going around the farm, 2 days of paperwork, and we're there.
How'd it go?
It went really well, actually. I mean, you know, we do farm as though we're going to be inspected any day of the week, so there's no surprises during the inspection. It just sort of takes time to go through the process. But it's really important, you know, being an organic farmer, to make sure that our customers are absolutely confident that we're doing what we're doing, and the standards that we have to adhere to are governed by law.
And then we had a COVID-safe meeting of our neighbouring farmers who came together in our restored barn to plan how to form a cluster so that we can all work together towards more ambitious environmental goals. Then we had a whirlwind visit from the hyper-enthusiastic Rob York. In these times of robust discussions about where the environment meets agriculture, Rob seems determined to tease out the common ground.
I've come down from the Welsh hills. I'm a rural commentator and I'm exploring the flatlands of East Anglia, where you might have different values, but you're actually talking about the countryside, and there are so many layers within it. Spaces, neutral spaces, places to be able to walk together and to have robust arguments and be respectful and drink beer and wine afterwards. I want to see all types of farming because I think we're not brave enough. And apparently you've had your first corn bunting this year is great. But I also love stuff that doesn't involve soil. I love the use of tech and hydroponic farming because of course that then releases land to do other things. Communication today is done via this thing that I'm staring at you through. It's got a huge role, but also we've got to know when not to use tech. Find the spaces to go face to face and to shake hands and to hug each other, because that is the most direct form of communication, whatever the tech says.
Well, we have been busy farming as well as talking. The shearers have been to shear the female ewes so that the flies can't lay eggs in their wool, which tends to happen when it gets warm. And the weeds, they are a-growing. So our lovely Polish team have been hand pulling these docks so that they don't seed and grow again next year. And there's been some hoe action as Greg pulls out the weeds in between the rows of our oat plants. And back in our restored barn, the brilliant and expert Greg has been teaching a group of friends all the best tricks for using this sort of weed control. And all the plants are just bursting into flower. This is a mix of beans and wheats growing together in one field. And here's John's first ever organic rapeseed crop. It smells amazing. Here are the flowers and here are the pods. John, what's happening here?
So these are our vetches. We're growing them for Church of Bures, and they're about to come on flower. They're going to be a riot of these purple flowers, absolutely going to be covered in bees. They're used for sort of building fertility, but they're often put in mixtures and fed to animals.
And the clover, which builds fertility in our soil, is on full flower and attracting the bees. It's also feeding the sheep, and it's doing really well after this rain. The elderflowers are just coming out, and the hedgerows are full of wild roses, and the verges have given way to oxeye daisies and really beautiful flowering grasses. Beautiful if you don't suffer from hay fever, that is. And to much excitement, the trusty farm dog Lottie has given birth to 7 puppies. So it's about to get even busier here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time. What are you doing?
This is a fun thing you can do with plantain.